So here we have the review of the combatsystems.eu M81 plate carrier, and here's the price. Here's how long it took to get here. Granted, it was the holidays. I ordered it at the 4th of December. Didn't get it until yesterday, which was the 18th of January. So here you go. Hey guys, just got my Combat Systems plate carrier in today. It's the same on the other box, but let's open it. So here we go. So I ordered the plate carrier, and then I ordered a extra placard just in case. So okay, so for weight, it's probably about 2 pounds. And then here's all the stuff it comes with as well. And then obviously I have this little pouch flap thing. So we'll do what I always do with these types of reviews. We'll start with the front plate, just look at all the features of everything. Then we'll go into the stitch quality, then we'll go into fitments. You know the drill. So here in the front, we have our two quick disconnect buckles. We have also at the top here, an admin pouch. And if we look in here, we have 3 bands of elastic bands. It's closed by Velcro. And then we can see the G-hooks that the straps here connect to. So if you want to switch out the straps for whatever reason, you can by using G-hooks. Next we go down, we have a few different MOLLE straps here, I'm guessing for flaps, as well as MOLLE on the Velcro, which is in the pattern of the camo, which is nice to see. I like it when companies do that. We have little wire retention strips here on the sides. We come down, we have our G-hook. Also, just to know, this feels like plastic. This is metal, and I'll show you. So, plastic buckle, metal G-hooks, just to show you. We also have our flap with also wire retention loops right here as well on both sides. Unlike the top part, which this honestly doesn't matter, there's no camo Velcro. Then we can come to the back here and we see we have some nice padding on the edges as well as mesh to help with just breathability. The middle part here does not have any mesh or padding, just the edges. Now for the plate carrier or the plate flap, we have a elastic band here. We can see the Velcro as well. We look inside, nothing special. But this does look like, oh, that's just the end of the pouch, never mind. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. Now let's move up to the straps. So for the straps, we have both shoulder pads as well as the straps itself. So here you can see the left side, it does Velcro in so that it stays stable and doesn't slide back and forth. We also have on the top here some MOLLE, just for whatever reasons, probably mostly just wire management. And on the back we have nice thick padding. It feels really nice and soft, as well as the mesh, so it's going to be nice and breathable. And then we come to the straps here. It's elastic, which is cool, and then also just adjusted by Velcro, as well as having plastic buckles. Actually, yeah, it's plastic. Just hollow. Then we can come to the back of the plate carrier. Again, we have plastic buckles. We have, looks like our carry handle that's Velcroed down. Probably just an anti-snag feature. We come down, we'll flip the plate over now. We have MOLLE on the back at the top here as well. We come down and let's take a look at the back really quick before we go underneath. So we have just, again, like the front, just mesh and padding on the sides, but just not the middle. And then for the cummerbund part, we have elastic bands here to help just tighten it, loosen it however you want, as well as Velcro covers that come down and flip around. So these little tabs right here go right there when it flips. So there's that. Then we'll go underneath. So just like the front plate carrier pouch, it's the same on the back, so nothing too special. Right here we have our elastic pull tab, and then our Velcro. Lastly, we have the cummerbunds here. Let's start from the edge, and then we'll work our way in. So this is the outside. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of MOLLE, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. For the height, you have your little elastic band loops. Come over, we also have our quick disconnect latches with the Velcro pads there for also just the finer adjustment. Then let's flip it over on the back. On the back here, nothing too special. We have a couple of pouches though, and a little bit of an extender stitch right here, because this is meant for side plates. And let me open it and show you. So I opened it the long way first to show you. Not much in there. You'll see this little strap at the bottom left, and I'll show you that in a second. And then at the top, we have this little opening as well, and you can see this strap a little bit better. And you can see it only goes from this edge to this edge right here, where my pinky is. So, and I'll show you, but you can see that it actually fits some side plates, and it's a very tight squeeze to get it in. And we can take a look and see what that band is for, so that you can separate this, have some soft armor behind it and around it. So kind of cool. Alright, so now it's time to go over the stitch quality for all of the pieces. And we'll start with the front here and just go from the top, work our way down, and then into the back. So here we have just single stitching for the stitch hole. Remember, this buckle does not connect right here. It actually connects on the inside. We have just single stitching at the top as well. For our add-in pouch, let's see, it looks like the stitching's on the inside, which is a good feature. It's not getting caught up or scratched on the outside, damaged, whatever. It's just some more single stitching along the edge. And same on this side, we have now also a single stitching for the Velcro here. Let's take a look down to our panel, which just all single stitch as well. It does look like there's some double stitching right where this meets, so it helps take on the weight, so that's good. Just all single stitch along the edges here. Actually, looks like we got some double stitching. That's the end thread, my bad. But we have some double stitching along this part right here, so that's kind of cool to look at. Next, we have just single stitching all along the Velcro here. By the looks of it, it's hard to tell. And inside, let's take a look at the edges too. So it's also inside stitch, so we can take a look at that in a minute. At the bottom here, we have single stitch on the left with our double stitching ending about halfway in the middle, and then single stitch. Let's see if that's the same on this side. And it appears to be, but it's probably just the end threads over here. Cool, let's take a look at the back now. So the back, it looks like all the stitching is on the inside, except for just this part right here, which is just, yeah, just single stitched. So we'll have to take a look on the inside to see more of the stitching. So let's go ahead and do that, but first we have just the Velcro stitching down here. So we have double stitching for the Velcro, as well as single stitching at the top. And let's take a look at the retaining flap for the plates here. So we have pretty much triple stitching all along the edge, which is nice to see. And for the Velcro on the front, it was single stitched, so that's good to know. But it also looks like it was double stitched right here, so cool. A little bit of a manufacturing mishap right here, but no biggie because it's not on the outside, so I'm not too miffed about it. Then we have, looks like single stitching from here, but then double stitching past it. And then single stitching. For the pull tab, we have double stitch and, yeah, double stitch. Cool. Again, single stitch at the top right here. The bottom half, we have double stitch, and then single stitch at the bottom until, you know, the pull handle. Cool. And it's just going to be the same on the other side, so we don't have to take a look at that. Let's take a look on the inside here. For the flap, we just have single stitch, which is fine, perfectly works. On the inside, so we have double stitching for the backer part, which is nice to see, but it's just separated a little bit. At the top, it's just some more double stitching. Then we have single stitch at the top there. There you go, single stitch. And then the same on the other side. Cool, let's take a look at the other part of the flap. So we have on the edges here, hard to tell. It's looking like single stitch for the inside here, single stitch on the edge here. One thing to note is that you can take these pads out, so I didn't notice that before. You can also get a look at the bottom stitching here. So double stitching from here goes all the way until this patch of Velcro on the inside. And you have thread ends right there. Cool. Nice to look at. And the bottom, you can see a little bit more of the inside and the threading. So double stitch on the edges, on the outside edges. The inner edge doesn't have double stitching, just single stitching. And same for this side. Cool. Now let's take a look at the back here. Again, we'll just do the same kind of pattern as we did with the front. So we have, for the pull handle, we have double stitch in a triangle, and then single stitched across at the bottom, then double stitched again. Interesting. I wonder. And then double stitched on the inside. Okay, so it attaches on the inside here. Did not know that. And single stitch at the top here. So it's pretty good. Come down, we see a little bit of the lining on the outer edge. Just single stitch again all the way throughout the Velcro, and the edges have a little bit of embraced stitching here. I don't know why, but we'll probably see on the inside why. Oh, this is the flap, that's why. So that's the edge of the flap right here. So single stitch at the bottom and around the sides. Cool. Take a look at the back. Can't really see in there. But again, we have just single stitch at the top, double stitch at the bottom like the front, and the same thing as the front for the bottom of these pads. And the pads have single stitching along the edge too. Let's take a look on the inside now. Actually, I should probably go through the stitching on the panels first before we go on the inside. So for these little Velcro retaining straps, we have double stitch at the top, then single stitch at the edge, and that's for both of them. Then for the edges here, we just have single stitch, and then kind of a double stitch at the top, single stitch on the X's. Yeah, not too bad. Nothing too spectacular. It looks like we have some double stitching on the top of the Velcro. Then here we have the panel this connects to. So if we take a look, we got double stitching across the top, just like this one. We have, looks like double stitching along the bottom as well, which is nice to see. Looks also like double stitching on the sides here, but it's so hard to tell. Let's take a look over so we can see better. Yep, double stitch on the bottom, double stitch on the side, single stitch in the middle and edges, and then on the top we also have double stitching all the way around. So it's pretty cool. Next, for the strap attachments, we have just single stitch with some double stitching at certain spots along the way, but it is all just single stitching. So a little bit of double stitching. Actually, it's hard to tell. It looks like it's double stitched from like here to here. It's hard to tell. It's very tight together. Cool. Well, let's take a look on the inside now. First, we'll take a look at these panels as usual. So our strap, we have double stitching, and then double stitching, and then double stitching all across the bottom here on the sides. It also looks like we have double stitching. At the top, it looks like we just have single stitch. Inside is double stitch. We have single stitch going along the sides here. So here's the stitching quality where the strap is for the rear back. It's hard to tell. If you guys can make it out, feel free to make your own assessment. We have double stitching along the edges for the center piece, and then for the back, or actually the back edge. So that's the back edge at the top there. Then we have single stitching along the edge, and it continues down. You see the stitching from the inside now, where everything is. This is what everything looks like. And then backing edge here, it is single stitched. And then this edge is also just single stitch, but then we have pretty beefy, like triple, quadruple stitching along the bottom here. So that's pretty good though. That should last pretty long. So here you guys go. All right, next we'll do the cummerbund flap. This will be pretty quick because we just look at this side. Double stitching on the edge here, double stitching on also this edge, the bottom, double stitching on the, single stitching on the top actually, single stitching on the X, and then single stitching on the sides. So, and then we have the actual cummerbund. So let's take a look. We have the reinforced stitching for where you put the plates. This is actually the bottom, but bottom is also single stitched with the reinforcements. So this is how it should be looked. You have the reinforced stitching at the top and the bottom strap here, not the middle. Yep, and it continues on that side too. Then we have just the stitching for the Velcro on the inside for when you want to put your plates in. Stitching along the bottom, you have some more reinforced as well, and it's just single stitch along the bottom. Take a look at the back, and it's all just the same. So just single stitching mostly on the cummerbund. Let's take a look at the shoulder strap. So the shoulder strap, this won't be bearing a whole lot of stuff on the top, so it doesn't need to be too reinforced. It's just single stitch on the inside too, and single stitch on the other flap. And actually this is, no, let's just thread in. And then just single stitch on the Velcro. So nothing too special on the shoulder straps. We have a double stitch along the edge, and then single stitching along the sides and the top. And then on the back here, we have another double stitch for the buckle part, and then single stitch along the edge and the sides. So there you go. There's the straps and the shoulder pads. And we already covered the flap, so I won't go over that. So, all right, let's throw some plates in these and see how it fits. And the plates I'll be using are going to be these level 4+ sappy plates, 10 by 12s, as well as throwing in the backers. Just to point out, these little foam padding backers are very tight in this backer slot, pocket, whatever you want to call it. So I'm struggling to put these in. So yeah, these in the back panel, the foam backer will not fit in that back spot right there. It probably will fit right here, so I'm going to test that out. Yep, fits much better right there. I'm assuming this part is more just for actual, like, in conjunction with soft armor in the back, or just soft armor if you want to throw it in there, and not actual, like, padding, since there is padding already on this thing. Alright, so here we have the plates and the backers in. Take a look at the top. There's no slack at all, which is nice to see. On the side, you just have that little overhang from the pads. Not sure how that will feel, but probably nice so that these edges aren't digging into your sides. And then on the back here, it's the same thing. It's nice and tight along the edges as well, and a little bit of overhang from the padding. So there we go. The only thing I'd be concerned about is that there's not a whole lot of Velcro attached on the bottoms of these. I kind of liked the other plate carrier I had, this one, with the extra strap for retention, just for, you know, security. I like redundancy, so just having redundant options is nice. But I don't see this having any issues in the future, you know, as long as I'm not, you know, shaking it up and down like this forever. It should hold just fine. And now for the final bits, I'm going to put this all together and then show you how it fits on me. So here's the fitment test. You can see it has a little bit of overlap, or I bet right here, a little bit of excess over there. However, it's not as bad as my Chinese plate carrier that I got. So that's something to note. Also, I'm theorizing that these buckles aren't going to do well for the rifle buttstock test, just because there's so much stuff here. Although I could move the padding back just a hair, We'll see how that goes. All right, now for the I guess I can get it in there. So, I don't know if you can see that, but when I go to shoulder it, the buckles are in the way. So you have to kind of put it more on your shoulder right here and tilt in. So that's something to think about. So I didn't think it would do that well on that part. I was hoping it would, but I'm also inexperienced with plate carriers, so this is my second one I ever owned. So, but live and learn. It's still a pretty comfortable plate carrier. And yeah, let's get to the final thoughts. All right, what are my final thoughts on this plate carrier? Well, it's quality made. It did take about a month and a half, almost 2 months to get to me. I ordered it on the 4th and it got delivered on the 18th, so there's that. This also, mind you, isn't part of it. So this, we'll forget that. Anyways, the padding on the back is quite nice. It does feel a little weird, but it's something you would have to get used to. I do like the metal G hooks for the flap. The buckles, I wish were metal, but oh well. And, you know, good idea putting it lower so that you don't have to put your rifle on the buckle, but I think it probably should be readjusted. Luckily, they have it so that you can take this off and put on a different strap if you want. So that's kind of nice. I do like the additional wire holders on the side. The cummerbund is quite nice. The only thing I don't like is the side plate there. I prefer my side plates more on the front. That's a good position if you like it. If you like your hard side plates straight in the middle. The pocket is also nice and big and covers a lot of area. The quality of this is pretty good. I like it. I didn't think I would like the strap, the wires in the back, the paracord, but I actually am kind of growing to like it. I don't like this grab handle as much. I get the reason why they had this right here, just to keep it down and snag free, but I like the one in my Chinese plate carrier a little bit more. You can watch the other video, link in the description for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's an overall good carrier. I think it'll just take some getting used to for the buckles there when shooting. So stay tuned for a range report on this thing, and yeah, hope you guys have a good day.